My name is Paul Crockett. I'm an Indiana Conservation Officer, and I've been with the department for 6 years. On July 1st, 2018, I was on boat patrol on Patoka Lake on this metal shark boat. It was a beautiful day and there was a lot of people out on the water. I had just gotten waved down by a concerned boater about a jet ski who was sitting in the water with no one around. While I was checking on that jet ski, I looked over to the beach area and saw another jet ski running full speed through the swim area where no boats are allowed. I left to go make a stop on that jet ski and heard one of my fellow officers call out on the radio, who was sitting at the beach area watching me make this stop. I approached the jet ski on my starboard side, slowed down and waved to try to get them to stop. The rear passenger of the jet ski turned around and made eye contact with me, but then turned back around and the jet ski never changed course. I decided to turn out away from them to give them some space and try to make a second approach, and that's when it happened. As I turned out away from them, the chine of my boat caught their wake and I was ejected. Now I've had training in tactical boat operations, and I know that turning aggressively at high speeds can cause an immense force on the occupants of a boat, but this was unlike anything I'd felt before. In the blink of an eye, I literally got shot out of this boat like a bullet. The first thing I remember after making that turn was being underwater. I was confused and I heard my life jacket inflate automatically. And while that was a relief, any relief that I felt immediately vanished when I came to the surface and saw this boat circling at full speed, so close to me. I know through my training that boats will circle when the occupants get ejected, and I know that most often the occupants get chopped up by the propeller, and in that moment I thought I was going to die. I also know that the only way to prevent the situation I had found myself in was by wearing my kill cord, and in that moment, with everything else going on, I had to ask myself, why weren't you wearing your kill cord? I was trying to swim, but my life jacket was inflated so much that it made it hard to swim. I was trying to get out to my dispatch over the radio, but my radio was wet and I wasn't sure if anyone could hear me. I swallowed so much water because of the huge, inescapable wake that this boat was creating. I knew that my only option was to swim for my life. I swam until I was completely exhausted, and I remember turning around and seeing this boat still circling, but it was further away from me than it was before. I looked around and saw the boat that had just waved me down a few minutes before, and I waved my arms frantically trying to get them to come help. But they weren't sure if I wanted them to stay away or come help. Finally they came over, and I remember climbing up on their swim ladder and for the first time feeling like I might actually survive this incident. Although my radio was wet and my cell phone was still on the boat, the officer who was sitting at the beach had seen the whole thing and immediately scrambled officers to my aid. I know that I'm blessed and fortunate that I had the officer so close that day, and that I also had the other boat to pull me out of the water. If this had happened in a different cove of this lake where no one was around, the outcome could have been drastically different. I think about not wearing my kill cord that day a lot, and I know now that there's no excuse for not wearing it. I will never get on a boat unless the operator is wearing the kill cord. I hope that other people can learn from my experience and realize how lucky I am to be here today. My name is Paul Crockett, and I survived.